Welcome everyone. This is once again your host Shailesh, bringing you a life journey of beautiful humans who are all around the world, and we always try to bring their life journeys. So today I have the pleasure to invite from our neighbor across the ditch, which is from Australia, Sydney, Rosheka, who is, as you can see on the screen, she is a absolutely delightful soul who ignite all the women's and transformational coach. So we know what she does, how what she's doing. However, today it's not about what she does. Today it's about her journey, her life journey that we are bringing you with her real experiences and real wisdom that she can share and throw light on her life journey going back right when she became conscious. Today, she is consciously empowering, consciously transforming being a coach to all the women. And that's something is amazing to hear from her own journey, from her own version. So welcome, Rishika, to this beautiful episode of our real life journeys that we do from speakers all around the world. And today I have the pleasure to invite you to talk to us about your life journey. So welcome to our show, Roshika, and thank you so much for making your time for us.
Thank you, Shailesh. It's an honor to be here and be part of this.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So, we talk about the life journeys of every humans that with their real experiences. So today we want to go back to the brown memory lane. When you were conscious, today you are consciously doing so many things and so many amazing transformational for women and for humans on this planet to all for the development and evolvement of we as humans. But let's go back to your journey. When did you become conscious as a child, or what was your mind as a child? Everybody has got a childhood. Everybody wants to, have different dreams, desires, and but some go subconsciously, whatever their parents and surroundings tell them, and some became conscious about their own self-awareness, what they want to do. So when was that trigger point for you as a child?
That's a very great question to begin with. I I believe we are all born conscious, as in we born with all the great gifts that the universe has given us. We are born perfect, but then the conditioning happens,
Right.
and I feel the conditioning is what the layers are, and that slowly the conscious becomes unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
So to say, I as a child, I knew that I want to spread love. I want to share my light. But as I grew up and I went into my adulthood, things happened, and that changed more to unconscious. And then it took a journey, a big turnaround where I found myself at a full stop. Then I decided to go home to where and how I was born as. So
Wow.
to say when I was conscious, I would say I was born conscious, like
Mm.
everybody else. But then unconscious happened because of the conditioning.
Mm. Oh, that's interesting. That's really interesting. That's a real good turning point because normally people are very much into subconscious mind, and then they all of a sudden realize something, change of events, turn of events happened in their life, and they became conscious. But for you, going the other way around is quite interesting to know that you are a real spiritual kind of a being. And for me, spiritual is not a complicated word. People don't understand when I say spirituality. Spirituality is nothing but actually talking from your own mouth, listening from your own ears, looking from your own eyes, and thinking from your own mind. And that's spirituality. But people unnecessarily get bogged down with spirituality, or spiritual means it connected to religion, connected to some sort of divine this and divine that. No. For me, spirituality is who you are just as the way who you are, and have you understood yourself. So when you said that you are already self-conscious or you are conscious already when you were born, but then surrounding certain things then went into a subconscious mode, which is what, you know, is other way around. So tell me something about that. How did that changed and what really changed in that
Oh, yeah,
space?
that's a brilliant question. But I just want to take you a little back. When
Yeah.
I was born conscious, I also believe that we all are born conscious. We are born
Mm,
untouched. We are born as a gift from God, and that is conscious.
mm.
That's how I see it. Um,
Sure.
so when I say the conditioning happened is when we are raised in our culture, in our family, in the religion, in the society, in the country,
Hmm.
in the continent, all these things, all these borders, all these certain fitting into boxes happen to us. And
Yeah.
that's exactly what happened to me, just like anybody else.
Hmm.
So I was born in the Hindu culture. I was born in Fiji.
Hmm.
My dad was a farmer. Obviously, it was a lot of hardship during the time of 80s.
Hmm.
The world was changing, a lot was happening. And yeah, just like anybody else, I learned to how to be in a family and
Mm,
then a culture. And
mm,
then there's other cultures in Fiji as well.
mm.
Learning to go to school and then
Right.
being married,
Mm,
being confined as a married woman, and
mm,
then finding myself on a discovery journey
mm,
where I had to go on being a single mother
mm,
and then finding myself in a hardship, finding myself my own way into the world as you know, where I was on my own,
mm, mm,
raising a child,
mm,
and then finding my purpose.
mm,
I, I found my career, I discovered my career, rediscovered my career a couple of times.
mm, mm,
And here I am finally with
mm.
my purpose.
But going into that mode, when you said like, you know, like, okay, this is great journey that people normally what happens is people are grown and born into an environment, born into a traditional or a setup or a tradition baggage or a pattern that they come along and they are all born into that zone and everybody has got a different environment and then they become what they become. However, then they change what they want to change in that same environment. But for you growing into an environment where you, as you rightly said, that okay, you were asked or you were forced or you were subconsciously made believe that this is what your life is and this is how you have to live, in spite of the fact that you know that this is not right for me, because when you, as you rightly said, we all born with conscious mind, with all born with conscious surroundings and thinking and mindset which nobody can understand until you perform, until you do, until you act. They don't know whether you are conscious or you are subconscious, right? Your actions are the main, right? That determine and define. So tell me something that, you know, going into that, from that to that, which is normally people go from the other way around. They go from, I call it like from subconscious, they go to conscious. But for you, going from conscious to subconscious, which is what now you are doing everything that you don't want to, or you don't like to, or you didn't understood at that time, probably that why am I supposed to get married? Why am I supposed to do this way? Why am I supposed to live this way? All those things, you know, becomes more powerful for your self-awareness. And then you understand and no, that's not my who I am. That's not my purpose is. That's not my life. This
Yeah.
is not how I want to live. When you realized all that things, you know, I want to ask this question for you and to all the listeners who are listening that, you know, everybody goes through a phase of their journey. But for you, understanding that uh, now shifting back from subconscious to conscious, but then conscious now to subconscious you became. And now from subconscious, now you want to go back to conscious. And this is very interesting for me because I have never come across a human who said to me that, look, I was conscious, but then I had to adopt subconscious things. And then I want to go back to my conscious roots. And this is like, oh, discovering altogether who you are as a new. Take me back to that awareness that when you realize, okay, you got married, you got kid, and then you realize, no, this is not who I am. That's not my purpose. And then you realize, what that time, what was your really awakening that made you think that no, whatever you are doing now is right thing for you? How did you make those decisions?
Absolutely. That's a very great question, because that is the turning point
Hmm.
for I believe for any human to be awakened. That is the break point.
The big part, yeah.
At what is it that I've been doing
Hmm.
that has led me here? And why am I not breaking out of this? Why is this so painful?
Hmm.
You look back, when I look back at the journey and say, wow, it's been so painful. I'm not getting anywhere. I find myself back in the same cycle. What
Hmm.
am I doing wrong? What
Hmm.
is it? But that to come to that point, along the journey, while I was coming to that break point, there was multiple times,
Hmm.
point in time, where I had to ask myself, is this right for me? Am I doing this right? So
Hmm.
slightly doing it differently, and then going forward and failing again, and then doing it again differently, took me to the point where it's like, okay, I need to start again, or
Hmm.
I need to end this because this is getting too much. This is too painful.
Hmm.
That's when you do soul searching. That's when you're like, okay, I've already tried bits and pieces to make it a balance, to have a conscious, unconscious, but I'm not getting anywhere. And this pain is so much. What do I do?
Hmm.
And you go deep down into soul searching, and then there is a lot of hard work, a lot of healings that we do,
Yeah.
reach
So
our soul.
So is that something, tell us something about like now that you have become a coach, but that is your self-awareness and your experiences I'm sharing here with the audiences and with the people who are listening. I want to know about your mindsets, like, as that point of time, your mindset kept changing, but then until you find that this is your right mindset or this is the way I feel good about it. How do you make those transitions of mindsets? It's very hard, as you rightly said, to change those mindsets. I would love to uncover that what is so hard for people who are listening. They must have gone through a lot of things. They are going through a lot of things, but there is nothing called hard or soft. It is your mindset that you have to deal with it. Tell us, how did you dealt with your mindsets, what you are today from
Absolutely.
that
Another
point?
great question. I love your questions. They hit the nail on the head where it needs to show light. Perfect. So I agree with you over there that it all starts with the mindset.
Hmm.
The mind is the biggest wall that we create to protect ourselves, and the mind is where we start to break through, to let the light in. So to correctly say, mindset is the beginning,
Hmm.
but to keep evolving, there is more that we need to get to.
Hmm.
It's the mind, your heart, understanding our body, understanding our soul. So
Hmm.
it's a big journey, and it starts with the mind, because the mind is what creates a weapon, a wall
Hmm.
that doesn't let us break through. So if you get your mindset right, it's the initial stage.
Hmm. Hmm. And so, in that mindset, you must have gone through a lot of challenges. I don't say problems, I don't say a lot of difficult times and difficult things, because every single moment of our life since we became conscious is always a challenge, is always difficult. There is no such thing as like, oh, this is easy and that is not easy. You still have to perform, you still have to do it, even if it is easy. You still have to take action. So when I say that, tell me, what are the challenges that you faced during this, and then you accordingly adjusted your mindsets basically to those challenges. Now, that challenges can be any, like friend relationship challenges, normal relationship challenges, even your kids' relationship challenges, even your family, or even your friends, or even your environmental and even your professional challenges. Whatever challenges, tell us something about, a little bit about insights on your challenges that you went through, and then how accordingly you changed and adjusted your minds.
Yeah, absolutely. The challenge, when you say challenge, yeah, it makes sense now after dealing so much healings that it's challenge because it's extending my growth. It's
Right.
challenging because that's how we grow. Just
Yes.
like a diamond, we go through, the coal gets compressed and
Mm,
all the, things happen to it before it becomes a diamond. That's how I learned it from my mentor. So when you come on the other side, when you've done a lot of work, you realize that those challenges
mm,
are what that changes you.
mm,
So, but when you're on the other side, when you're
mhm,
on the other side, you are questioning, you're seeking, you're
mm,
looking for stuff that makes sense to you.
mm.
That's what I went through. And
Right.
those are the languages that I used. It's impossible. It's difficult. It's hard. It's
Mm,
painful.
mm.
But once you switch on the other side, you talk like Shailesh,
Yeah.
challenges.
And I understand what you say. Yeah. I mean, at that time, you don't know. And they you say, it's so hard, I can't do it. It's so difficult, I can't make it. And then I will fail. Or so again, on that, so when you said that, was those difficult, hard, all these things? Now that you have become a coach, tell me something about how did you make those kind of labels or titles like difficult, hard, no expect, not achieving what you are supposed to achieve and all those kind of things. Was there a fearful? Is how fearful is a human journey? When I want to ask you from your journey, what was your fear, the most fearful journey that you lived? And that's why then you push back. It's difficult, it's hard, because you're fearing. There is a fear inside you that you
Yeah,
will be judged by your own people, by your surroundings.
yeah,
Tell me
absolutely.
something about that.
Yeah, always growing up till today. And I feel that even going forward, I'm always going to feel fear. Every time I do something
Mm,
outside the box, every time I have to do something new, I will feel fear. But we have to learn that fear is always going to be there, that we need to embrace. This is what I learned through coaching.
mhm,
As I grew up, as I became an adult, as I became a mother, as I'm now a coach,
mm,
there's always a fear. There's always a fear because I'm constantly evolving. I'm constantly doing new things. For me, my biggest fear, I would say, was so far to fail as a mother,
mhm.
to because I'm raising a human being.
I know. Yeah.
No manual for it.
There's no manual for it. Absolutely. 100%. Yeah.
And my biggest responsibility in my life is raising that human being,
Mm,
being a mother.
mm,
And am I making those right choices for my child?
mm,
I believe as a woman, as a mother, that's the biggest responsibility, biggest fear is failing your child. For
mm,
me,
mm.
that was for me.
Right. And that's a great challenge that everybody probably who are listening may not be mother at this moment, but could be. And then that fear would be there. But then to change and make those positive changes into becoming like from fearful, how do you become fearless? My question is this to you.
Yeah,
How
that's a
did
great
you how
question.
did you become fearless? Tell me something that.
Well, I would say as a mother also again,
Mm.
that was my superpower too. That
Mm.
yeah, I fear failing that human that I'm raising. I also am powerful because I want
Mhm.
the best for that human.
Mhm.
I want what I can do the greatest for this human being, what I can show. So for
Mhm.
me, I am my son's role model because
Right.
he looks at me first. I'm the immediate person that is in his life that he looks first.
Mm-hmm.
And that is my superpower too. That is my motivation. That is my encouragement as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what kept me going.
Great. Yeah, so basically, but then again, for that also you need to have that positive mind or change of mindsets. Like I'm fearful, but now I see 99.9% of people in my experience, in my own experience as well, is like people get fearful because they think they cannot achieve to the expectations of others rather than your own.
Yeah,
See, if you have to do something on your own, irrespective of whatever the result is, you will do it. But if you keep others in mind, saying that, no, I'm doing this, but others will be affected, and if others don't like it, then don't want to do it. I want to only do it, but others would like it. But I don't know until I do it whether others will like it or not like it. So that's a challenge question. But to me, 99% we fear because of we can't expect the expectations of others. In your world, when you became from fearful to fearless, you have to change your mindset. But okay, you have to perform for your child as one challenge. But then were you having that thought, just like others, that, hey, if I don't perform, what will others say to me? Or you saw, no, what will I say to myself? How
yeah,
was your that transition? What
absolutely.
should others be learned from here or we understand?
Absolutely. All my life, most of my life till last year, even though I was pushing through doing things in my life, breaking the boxes,
Hmm.
that was still there because that is the conditioning we talk about. Because
Correct.
we are raised
Hmm.
please other people. We are raised to
Hmm. So
um,
true.
have expectations or meet other people's expectation
Hmm.
because that is what the conditioning is to confirm to others.
Hmm.
Not going inwards, we go outwards. Everything is achieved from outward.
Hmm.
If I do well, I'll be validated by the society, by the parents. If
Yeah.
I do something wrong, I'll be shamed. I will be told that's wrong. So it was always outside, and that's how the conditioning happens.
Hmm.
Go and that's the unconscious.
Hmm.
The conscious knows that I'm worthy and I know what I'm doing, what my beliefs are, and that comes straight from the universe
Hmm.
where we belong, where that's the reason we're here to
Yeah.
help humanity, help change and bring the big consciousness instead of everyone being unconscious.
Hmm.
So that was there, definitely, Shailesh. It was there that I have to
Hmm.
meet other people's expectation. I have to meet my parents' expectation.
Correct.
It's always there, but that is the conditioning that took so long to break out and
Yeah.
say,
How was that?
when I look inwards, I'm looking at the universe. I'm looking at the oneness. I'm looking at the greater good, and it comes through me. So then it's
Yeah.
the conscious.
Yeah, that's why it's very hard. How did you like, felt that we had to break this? And to break what to break also is a big consciousness or awareness. That
Yeah.
what are you trying to break? Are you trying to unplease others, or are you trying to unplease yourself, or are you trying to unplease what? So what are you breaking? That's also is a good kind of a realization. So I was about to ask that how did you manage to break that? And after breaking that cycle, that conditioning that you had, was it a big kind of a realization of a relief, or thinking that, no, this is the best way that I took the decisions in my life? Because people get scared of taking decisions
Yeah.
and such situations. So all the listeners who are listening can understand, okay, wow, how did Roshika find herself after changing her mind or after taking that decision? Was she happy? Was she like, okay, now this is the new norm, or realize what is the confirmation you got, basically?
Firstly, can I say, Salesh, it's a self-discovery, self-love.
Okay.
It's a big journey.
Okay.
It's a long journey. It takes a long time consistently showing up for yourself, sticking up for yourself, being there for yourself and be saying that I am the cheerleader of my own life before anybody else joins in. It's a very lonely journey in the beginning. Very, very lonely journey when you find yourself because you're finding your own self. You
Mm.
can't have other people in it. So you go alone for a very long time in the dark tunnel until you see the light
Yep.
shining in from other people, because you're looking for the right people to help
Correct.
you on the journey.
Right.
So what I want to say to anybody listening is that it sounds so, okay, life is difficult. Okay, it should turn to challenging. Oh, I need to be conscious. And what is all this? To that person, I would love to say this, that it starts from compassion. Compassion from yourself, that yes, I have been through a lot. Yes, it's painful. Yes, I see other people going through it too. Yes, I see someone else has done it. Yes, I see a lot of people have done it. But when I have to start, I need to start from within. I
Mm.
need to start showing love to myself that, yeah, I don't know everything.
Mm.
Yeah, I've been through a lot. Yes, it is difficult. It's just accepting everything as it is in that moment and then going one step at a time, asking for the right help, because we as human beings, we help each other.
Mm.
There's so much out there around us.
Mm.
We start from there, showing compassion and love to ourselves and saying, yes, I need help.
Yeah.
Who can help me? The right people, not the wrong ones to distract, to stay comfortable, to stay in ego. It's to say, I'm breaking this discomfort and I'm going to ask for help from the right people. And I love myself. That's why I'm doing this.
Mm. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, but that's something that I guess everybody has to be quite independent in their own way of looking at things rather than depending on others to make decisions for them. And once you make decisions for yourself, irrespective whether right or wrong, until you take that decision, you won't know whether you want to change or you want to extend or you want to expand. You don't know. But taking the first step of decision is very important, I guess. So coming to the next part of my resonation from what you have said in your life, what were the other things that you have made consciously those changes? Now you have already accepted the challenges and you have gone that, but what are the changes, positive changes that you think you made for yourself coming from that, whatever moments that you had? And changing those moments to make it better for you, for your kids, for everyone around you. What are the changes positive that you see that you can tell us something from your life that so far? And of course, you keep learning, as you rightly said, and you keep changing those, but changing better. What are the positives? When you say, what are the positive things that you talk about or you made those changes?
Yeah, firstly, making changes is very difficult, challenging.
Of course.
When you're on the other side, you look at it as difficult.
Hmm.
But to get there is you realizing that
Hmm.
whatever you've been doing so far in your life is not working.
Hmm.
When you get to that point and you accept it, that's when you say, I'm going to accept this challenge and I'm going to change it.
Hmm.
And as soon as you make a decision to say no to a wrong relationship, to a wrong career, which is not serving your purpose,
Hmm.
saying no to partying or hanging out with people that don't serve us, is all challenging decisions, but it
Correct.
comes out only when you decide it's no longer working and I accept it and I want better for myself, so I'm going to explore it.
Hmm.
Those are very difficult decisions.
Yeah. And how do you see yourself? Like, there are certain things as you came out of that pattern, because I'm very intrigued and very fascinated when you said that you went into the mode of subconscious from a conscious. But now that you are back into your conscious mode and you are making those conscious decisions, I wanted to know, like, with all the listeners who are listening as well, the challenges, the positive changes that you keep doing and saying no to many things in life, which traditionally, patternfully, we are very much easily become victim of subconscious mind. And what we like, what we are convenient, and what we understand, we want to know that more than what we don't understand. And so coming from this, because you have those two, three back, forward, backward, back situations, I can ask you this question, like, how do you now say that knowing the unknown and knowing the known, how would you now put yourself into that shoes? I would love to know because you are a coach. I'm asking you this coaching question that I can get coached as well.
Absolutely, Shailesh. I love all your questions. They're very good questions.
Yeah.
So when you say you look at the uncertainty and certainty,
Yeah.
firstly, you got to look at your focus, right?
Right.
Your focus would be on the stuff you want to grow in your life. So when I look at it as two sides. There's a side that I'm challenging and I'm changing, and there's a side that I'm growing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I work through this to focus on this. So
Mm-hmm.
my right is the stuff that I want to grow in life. What do I want to grow? You know, I want to grow into speaking, or I want to grow into
Yep.
self-love. I want to grow into giving or building
Giving.
my coaching venture, whatever it is that I
Mm-hmm.
grow into. That's, for example, I'll be focusing on that and growing that. But every time I do that, there's a hurdle, which is a challenge, which is this part here. So work through these to come on the other side and grow. So normally, as we hear all the time, people say, focus on what it grows.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly how I see it. So when my challenge comes in, I do not distract myself. I go into it, find out what is it that I need to change? What is it that I need to work to heal? What are the people who can help me with this? So
Mm-hmm.
then the after the challenge, we always find out that this is what universe wanted us to learn. This is what the growth for my being human means. This is what I'm going to share with others. So then the growth, I focus on that. For example, I would give you is I don't watch TV. I find a lot of people around me watch TV.
Watching.
So I don't watch TV because my focus is not on what they show on there. My focus is my choice, what I want to see.
But
What do I want to
isn't it, just to cut you off, sorry, isn't it that means that you are ready already to know the unknown rather than what others are telling you to do or what others know what to do? Or you also know watching TV is okay. However, you don't want to because that's the normal for you because that's not what who are you. You already know, but you want to know the unknown.
I think how I see Shailesh is that the
Mhm.
known and the unknown is part of our human journey. The
Yeah.
known is what's already inside us. What is the conscious?
What is the conscious? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that is the known. You go on a discovery and then you know
Yes.
that and then you pursue on the outside in the world.
Yes.
The unknown is that comes on the journey. Oh, I don't know what the next step is. Oh, I don't know. I need to learn this. Oh, this is a challenge. Those are the unknown and the known. It's a balance of life, the yin and the yang that
Yeah,
everyone
yeah,
talks
yeah.
about.
Ah.
Yeah, so it goes hand in hand, fear and showing courage,
Mm.
the good and the bad, the challenges and the growth and the celebration and,
Mm.
the failure. It all is going
Yeah.
hand in hand because that's what makes us human.
Yes. No, very well said. Very well said. I was just intrigued, and I know all the listeners are also excited to understand what's the uncover, the things that they probably don't know, or they know, but they don't know how to, live that moments. Because it's very easy to become a victim of the known things. When you know things you want to, enjoy, and you think that that is only your life. But when you don't know, you are a bit scared to know the unknown. So it's very interesting. Anyway, so coming to my another aspect, avenue is like, tell me something about where you are at this stage of your journey since you became from your so much of transitions has happened in your life. And I think not everybody gets to experience these things. Our life is not defined, our time is not defined on this planet. But definitely, our experiences do define us and do make us more, intuitive, more awareness, more self-aware. Our experiences keep making us self-aware a lot. From that perspective, where do you see today where you are at, and where do you want to, like, if suppose unknown comes in the next moment? and you say, "Oh, I'm ready. I don't have any problem because I know exactly what I and how I have to deal." Because people go into lot of stressful mode when they see something new coming or new creeping in. You know, how do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself in that state of mind to cope with the unknown that you are going to receive in the future? It is hypothetical, but it is something that you come with it and you have made a, what they call it, made an agreement with yourself that, hey, look, I am ready for anything now. What do you see there? Where do
Yeah,
you see yourself?
absolutely. If I look at the past me, who used to get anxious at every challenge
Yes,
that came
yes.
in my life, she would be so scared. She would feel so alone. She'd be like, how do I do this? I had anxiety. I had a very dysfunctional functional anxiety for a long time until I got into coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And that would consume most of my life. Anything that was out of unknown, that would give me anxiety. So now today I have overcome my anxiety
Mm-hmm.
and I trust, like we discussed earlier, that life is both full of uncertainty and certainty. And I believe that life is about learning and growing. So as a student of life for life, as a learner for life, I'm able to embrace
Mm-hmm.
that it's uncertain, to have challenges. It's never going to be that life is perfect. I've got it, I've mastered it, I know it, because that's not what life is. Life is about learning, growing, celebrating. It's the yin and the yang, the good and
Yeah.
the all that. So in saying that, I'm a human being and it's possible I could feel like that.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like that, oh, this is big. This challenge is huge. I don't know how to navigate this. But guess what? I'm going to reach out to the support that I have around me, to the right people. So it's important. I read it somewhere now, I can't remember, but someone said about having the 5 people in your life that you can go.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you have 3 or 2, it's still important.
Yeah.
Your low time, because as a human being, we're always going to have that, because that is what being human means. So you must have those kind of people, the people who you can go to in those difficult
Absolutely.
times.
Absolutely. There is nothing beyond having a dialogue between people to people and humans to human, because that's what who we are as a meaningful. So very well said that, Roshika. Thank you. And this is, we are coming to the end, but I wanted to go before the end. What will be your, like, as to all the listeners, Roshika is not just here to share her experiences of a life journey, but she has turned into a transformational coach. And when you become a coach, as she always said, that you are a life journey learner. You keep learning in your life. So you are a student also, you are a teacher also. So just because she is a coach doesn't mean she is a coach for only coaching. She's also learning from her own life. But her own life learnings has turned into a coaching. What a beautiful transformation there itself. So, to all the listeners, you can take all that benefits from this transformational coach, because her mission is to help all the women to feel, to heard, to seen, understood, and everything. But most importantly, she develops your personal and professional help that she gives. And she is here to help every human on this planet. So now I want to ask this final question to Rashika. What is your final message to all the listeners who are listening, and including myself? I am actually talking to you and listening to you as well. What's your final message to all the humans who are here to learn from this one life journey that we all have, and how we can make that better from everyone by just understanding, by just listening, by just, asking those right questions. And as you rightly said, surrounding those right people around you. Give us your final message to all the listeners.
So I'll talk to the person who is feeling lonely, alone, who feels like life doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to say to that person, show compassion to yourself, because being human this day and age is so complicated. because
Right.
there's so much around us, so much information. Everybody is telling us how to be, how
Mm.
to live our life. So I would say, show yourself some compassion
Mhm.
and be kind to yourself. And for the person who is going alone and just going through life, pushing through life and being the warrior and feels like there is no light, I would say to that person that keep
Mm.
going. Because when you keep going, you come onto the other side, and there is definitely a light at the end of the tunnel
Right.
because you become the light yourself. And
Mm.
you will find that when you become the light for your own self, there is more people with that light and they support you on the journey.
Mm.
And
Right.
for you, Shailesh, you are already spreading so much light. I would say keep doing what you do because you are becoming the beacon of light. You are sharing it, spreading, and you're giving it to someone who's not there yet, who is
Mm.
looking at that little break of light that's coming through. So
Mm.
kudos to you. Great job.
Thank you very much, Roshika, for that compliment. I'll take that. But this is something that all the listeners, as you can see, we are here to spread not only the life journeys of humans, but their experiences, their wisdom. And that is our legacy. When you share your experiences, that's our legacy, that we make this world a better, better, better place. And I think there is lots and lots to do, because each time when you do mistakes, we learn from it and we try to do better. So there is no such thing that a line is straight and then it is the perfect or pure line. We have to keep making it pure every single moment. That's what I would say to all the listeners, and to your beautiful conversation that I had today, Roshika. It's amazing the way you have led your life so far, and I really, really think that you have become an amazing coach with your own journey, with your own life experiences to help more souls. So I kudos to you that you are igniting your souls to every soul on this planet. Your mission is amazing mission. And I think I give you to all the listeners, as she always says, and I can see from the behind, even though I can't read it correctly, be the best version of you. And that's something I take this opportunity to once again thank Roshika. And we will bring Roshika because I think I'm very excited now to talk about more topics. This was her life journey, but what she does, what she talks about, how she makes those personal development journeys for humans, we would like to uncover more of that. So we will bring you back, and I will invite you, if you have time, please do come to us. But in the meantime, we are from all NZ World News really are happy to host this beautiful episode. And to all the listeners, we will come back to you once again. Till then, bye for now. Your final word, Roshika, and we'll end there.
Absolutely. It was an honor, Shailesh. Thank you so much. And yeah, we work together. Each one of us have that beautiful, unique light. We unite and we make this planet a better place. It's not just my job, your job, it's everyone's job to spread that light. So thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very well said. Thank you, Roshika, for that beautiful conversation I had with you. And best of luck for all your future things that we all going to do together. Bye for now, all the listeners.
Thank you, everyone.